So, friends, are you sitting down? Because we've got breaking news. The Trump administration just complied with a federal court order. Let's talk about that because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. You know, friends, it's really nice when the rule of law and when we the people have a clean, unadulterated win in court, a win in a case challenging Trump's lawlessness. So let's set this one up. The Trump administration violated federal law by pulling down a website that posted information about how it was spending our taxpayer dollars. It's called apportioning the money that Congress gives to the executive branch. You know, how they are spending it, how they're divvying it up in what increments. That's called apportioning, right? Apportioning the money that Congress allocated to the executive branch to run executive branch agencies, for example. And the federal law requires the executive branch, in this case, the Trump administration, to post, to publish, to inform the public how it is apportioning congressional funds. And the Trump administration violated the law by just taking down the governmental website that complied with that federal law. Well, friends, two nonprofit organizations sued the Trump administration for this violation of federal law. I'll talk a little bit more in a few minutes about those two nonprofit organizations, and they won. And the court ordered the Trump administration to comply with the law, put the website back up, post the information, provide it to the public as the law requires. And here is today's headline. This from the Hill. Trump administration restores public spending data after legal fight. And if I can tweak that headline a little bit, Trump administration restores public spending data after losing in spectacular fashion a legal case in which they had no straight-faced argument as to why they were violating federal law. Yes, that's my tweak to the headline in the Hill. And the article begins. The Trump administration restored a public database that showed how funding is apportioned to federal agencies following a recent order by a federal appeals court. Public access to the data was restored over the weekend, not long after the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit ordered the website be restored in a unanimous ruling. And this quote from one of the appellate court judges, quote, "To hear the government tell it," the government being the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, "to hear the government tell it, the separation of powers hangs in the balance and only this court can set things right. But when it comes to appropriations, our Constitution has made plain that congressional power is at its zenith," U.S. Circuit Judge Karen Henderson wrote last week. Under the apportionments process, agencies, meaning executive branch agencies, are given limited authority to spend funding allocated by Congress in installments. Congress required the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, to implement an automated system to post each document apportioning an appropriation as part of a legislative funding deal signed into law in 2022. The Office of Management and Budget was also ordered, by operation of federal law, to operate and maintain the automated system for fiscal year 2023 and each fiscal year thereafter in another funding bill that also became law that year. But the website went dark earlier this year after the Trump administration said it could not continue to operate the system, arguing it contained sensitive information that could pose a threat to national security. Okay, friends, I've got to jump in here with a quick editorial addition. The Trump administration's argument is complete and utter BS. Think about it. Congress publicly appropriates, gives money to the executive branch to be spent in a particular way, but Donald Trump's DOJ argues, oh, we can't tell anybody how we are apportioning that money because it's a threat to national security. Come on, man. The article continues. Advocates have hailed the return of the tracker as a major win for transparency, as the administration has faced legal challenges in recent months over efforts to freeze funding already allocated by Congress. And here are statements from the two nonprofit organizations that sued the Trump administration and won. Quote, publicly disclosing apportionments helps protect against any illegal abuses or withholdings of funds, as President Trump attempted to do when he sought to illegally withhold federal funds from Ukraine in exchange for political favors. Donald Sherman, Executive Director and Chief Counsel for Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, said in a statement, quote, we are gratified that Congress and the public will not be left in the dark while this case proceeds, and we will continue to fight for the permanent availability of this information. Siren Lindgren-Savage, Counsel for Protect Democracy, also said in a statement that access to the apportionment process means we can finally see where OMB may have abused this tool to unlawfully delay spending. Both groups sued the administration over the website's previous takedown. Okay, friends, 3 quick takeaways. First, it's really nice when the rule of law and when we, the people, get a solid win in court, shutting down some of Trump's lawlessness. Second, it's nice, though it shouldn't exactly be breaking news, when the Trump administration complies with a court order. And third, nonprofit organizations continue to do the hard work of justice in court every day, protecting we the people against an abusive criminal president of the United States and his corrupt administration. I will put a link in the description for this video of the 2 pro-democracy nonprofits that brought and won this legal challenge. And I hope you'll consider clicking on the link, checking out those 2 nonprofits, CREW, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, and Protect Democracy. I hope you'll consider checking them out and maybe even supporting them. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.